This is salt that mother sipped around here. It's like this already for at least 1 week. It's already like this for at least 1 week. And mother was yelling, screaming on me during MK Ultra procedure. Incredibly violent on me. I will never forget, for walking on a salt and taking it to the room upstairs. That this is the stuff that would destroy parket. I don't know how you say that. Pejte pa spraviti tisto svojo sol, ki si jo posolila tam, prosim, v garaži. Pred mojim vhodom tam, ker jaz stopim ven iz avtomobila, si nastavila sol, pa fucking, zakaj? Si pozabila, kaj je bilo z Juršičem, pa za Štefaničem, kako si kričala, da sem češ jaz sol prinesel v dnevno sobo, pa uničil parket? Samo vprašal sem. Si pozabila?
Pozabila sem to, da si nor.
Da sem nor, aha. Oh, so this is the way it is. I remind her about the stuff that went on during MK Ultra. This is where I would basically step out of the car. She made sure that this will be positioned exactly where you would bring the car and open the door. Boom, exactly right there, just the way you see it. Okay, hvala lepa. Hvala. I just went to pick her up, called her 3 times. She refused to answer till she got me in a traffic jam in front of the home for elderly people. So she is doing a very, really, like she says, a hard job. 2 things here in the car happened. One is pertaining to the windshield wiper. Based on MK Ultra, I have no idea what the problem is with this one, who had a problem with this. But somebody played with the windshield wiper, that when you turn the windshield wiper on, this one right here, it would just flush this area here. That's one thing. And the second thing that happened, this is a nurse Janko stated to me with Štefanić, Juršić, they told me the heating from the car that you turn on, the heating, I said to them during MK Ultra, it's not working. And they told me, what do you think is wrong with it? And that's context. And I said to them, probably just a svečka, I don't know, spark, whatever you say that. Hey, I don't even know how you say that. Varovalka. The switch probably went out, and that had to be replaced from the switch panel. And they told me, you don't even know, you don't even know how to do, not how to do that, but you are too lazy to even do that kind of stuff. In that sense, it was. Not that I would not know, but for you, that would be a big deal. That was a nurse Janko, Štefanić, Juršić, they got on me. Like trying to make me feel lazy, incompetent, crazy. For you, it would not even be this here. And it was not only him, but it was Zajšek, Božičnik. They really saw themselves how they can and I cannot, because I am lazy, retarded, that kind of stuff. So we have no heating. Basically, we have a halfway heating only working because of this type of stuff. I don't know. Maybe it's worse than that, but I noticed that my mother is playing with these buttons. She likes to play with it. I don't know why she's doing this. This is pertaining to the car, and I guess she has nemir v rokah. How you say that? She's not at peace. She doesn't have a tranquility in her hands either. So a lot of tranquility not in her hands. She cleaned up her fucking mess over there. She did it. Yeah, she was screaming at me that I was the one who brought This stuff here is possible, most likely, more likely not, by my mother, because they train her to do the damage, and also how to cause problems, basically. She had a funny ideas. She had a crazy ideas, like turning air condition and heat at the same time on, that kind of stuff. And that would be really crazy. You see, just having her next to you, you could get yourself in an accident by mistakenly pressing maybe air condition on or something like that. This sounds really like as if you would have air from the outside pushed inside of the car and so on, because it's just not heating. The car is not heating properly. So this is just, in my opinion, this is just a switch probably that needs to be replaced. But it's a fucking nasty stuff, man. Nasty stuff when somebody keeps doing this stuff based on prior brainwash is actually quite violent. Yeah, this is exactly where she placed a bag right there. You can still see it. And that's exactly where you would open like this, with the door, and there it is. It's right there. I don't know why it's got to be here. There is a lot of other location area where this could be, but she positioned this right wherever I bring the car like this inside, so that it would be not because I would want to park the car like this. This was a Božičnik even who was involved in this, a Zajšek again. Again, the same people. The one who even gave her a signal to do this, to start to scream on me during MK Ultra, this was Stefanic. They were literally giving her a signal to scream at me. Now, you cannot go anywhere further. This is all there is to it. This is how it is. I'm not making this shit up. This is basically the way it is. I mean, she's just doing the shit. They're not supposed to be there. Not supposed to be this way. That's all there is to it. This is the stuff that I found. It's good, probably for building something still, for anything. And maybe it's because I brought that and placed it inside of the garage that had an idea that that stuff right there must be there. Eris, look at that. Listen to this. Now we have some ambulance vehicles. All right. As well as mine, I wait. I had a physician saying to me, you're gonna hear me on the other side of Kirka River. I don't know if it pertained to this issue because it was so many other issues they involved in it. And I said, how? They would be like, you have to record this and so on. And I was like, huh? And he said, by the time you will finish recording this, you're gonna already hear my ambulance vehicle. This was the guy who came to hospitalize me at police station. This kind of stuff went on. Yeah, so there's nothing going on. She went and she, like this with a fish. She put inside of the water, then she went and she did like this with a fish. Like, you know, like it's a rug or something like this. Like like you would take one of this, soak in the water and then squeeze it. She was doing this kind of stuff. Tako. Daj ti mene ena druga stvar še povej. Tiste piškotke, ki si delala, ti si jih delala tle gor, na temu si jih delala, na tej svinariji, tle si jih delala, piškote. Se spomniš?
Pa si vse požaril.
Vse piškote sem požrl, ampak
Tako.
tlele gor si jih delala tako.
Vse si do enega požaril.
She was making a biscuits.
80 dek jih je bilo, pa je
She was making a biscuits. It didn't come to me, and I saw her. The biscuits directly on here. She put the biscuits right here on this thing here, and was making biscuits right here. Made that dough and was making biscuits right here. This is such a nasty place, by the way. A really nasty, super nasty place. It was Andrei Stefanic who told her during MK Ultra, what are you doing? She was making biscuits right here. And was making biscuits right here. And he said, he was very, very dismissive, negative about it. He said, you will go and you will video record when she will be doing this kind of stuff. This is one of the things that you will do. And I said, why would I do that? And he said, because it's full of germs. It's full of the stuff. And when you consume this stuff, when you eat this stuff, this is why you have a problem with the lymph nodes, is what he claimed. This is lymphoma cancer, he said. This is when you overwork your lymph nodes, he said, is just as bad as everything else. You're going to video record this stuff, he said. He called me an asshole. Okay, fine. I am going to prepare that one right there for myself inside of the oven. It's not going to be like this. But, yeah, you know you're fucking crazy when you take the fish and you just do it in the same way as it would be for rug or something like that, sponge or something like this. Never seen something like that. Okay, mama. Ja, ne, jaz nisem bolnik, zaradi tega, ker ti imaš resne probleme in ne odzivam se ti za nasiljem, tako kot si ti želiš. Ti pa se, men. Kako da ne? Si me klicala 10krat, ti si mene 1000krat oklicala za bolnika, s tem, da imaš nasilno obnašanje sama. Kako ti nisi bolnik? Ne, ti nisi, zaradi tega, ker tebi niso dali umske bolezni certifikata. Ti si jo meni dala, skupaj z očetom ste jo meni dali. Samo tu ne pomeni, da ti nisi bolnik, ker ti se znašaš z nasiljem nad mano.
Res?
Ja, res.
Sem ti pa naredila.
Vedno, celo življenje.
Dej. Jaz mislim, da se ti mokeca.
Ne hecam se. Samo spomnim se, kako si piškote delala, pa tu sem posnel, kako si zdaj ribo začela delati.
Lepo, ne?
Ne, to ni normalno za me, ampak zate je normalno, v redu. Ja, lepo, če ti praviš. I will say to you like this, that my lymph nodes did hurt, and I did not understood why did they hurt so badly, where did they hurt so much, but they did. Mother... they had a big debate about her making the biscuits and shit, and my mother won her debate with what even got a support from the psychiatric nurse Andrea Yerich, who was also involved in this stuff. So we're seeing a beautiful weather outside, extremely dynamic mom. Today is rather warm, beautiful outside, and well, she's in her element. Because everything she does, it might look strange, it might look crazy, because it is. But everything she does was checked with the police, with psychiatric personnel. Absolutely everything she does. The way she put this on a paper and everything, and show what she does is she acts crazy and does it with a confidence, because everything that she does is they tested it out, how much impact would that have on my reporting the stuff about her. My lymph nodes did hurt as fuck, man. She said, but you ate it anyways. You ate it anyways, she said. You ate it anyways. Pa si vseeno pojedel, je rekla. No, let me explain something. In 2018, you should have stopped the MK Ultra procedure. Since 2018, in 2010, you should have done that. That is 16 years ago. So, 8 years ago, I submitted the proofs, physical evidence. recordings from the people whom I have identified in Poland. If you continue to enforce your ways, to have it your way, the question here is not whether I ate this, whatever she created. The question here is about something different. And it doesn't pertain to 2018. When you have somebody contemplating on a suicide night and day, and you confront him by breaking him a two even further with the food that you serve him because you cut him from the income, from any source of income, and you're gonna go and you're gonna tell me, you're gonna talk to me that the person has a eating disorder and the person is eating poison anyways, even though he knows it's a poison. I'm gonna say to you, good luck to you. I had a very serious problems in between. Beginning 2008, when I was forced to go out of United States of America. 2006, when I was forced to go out of United States of America, back to Slovenia. And the biggest dilemma that I had was when I was thrown even into psychiatric hospital after 39 years of torture in 2012. And you're gonna talk to me about 2012, ladies and gentlemen, was 16 years ago. And you're gonna talk to me about eating disorder. And you're gonna talk to me about you ate it anyways. Look. There is a tooth right here. Look, there is a tooth right here. Let me demonstrate you this. Oh, this camera doesn't have I don't have the ability to use the light. This is the second tooth that is still with the tooth inside of the gums. Just maybe a quarter of it, but it's still there. It's really dangerous. And I'm coping with it already since 2018. That's 8 years. And you're gonna say to me that I have eating disorder, eating disorder, and that I am eating anything anyways, when the tooth is broken 8 years. And when I came from Poland without nothing, eager to get the job here in Slovenia, and you go and you try to charge me, she tried to charge me 30 euros. The same lady who broke the tooth and infected the tooth. That's where my mother and my father took me, to the same lady, to the same place, to the same dentist, I should say, who, by the way, went on to violently inspect the tooth by actually pushing me oversized something inside of the mouth to keep them open and stuff like this. Basically bullying based on torture, MK Ultra torture. It's not bad to break somebody a tooth. So that she made it in such a way, the whole thing remind me of torture during MK Ultra, that of course I would not allow her to proceed and even pay her. I think she wanted like 30 euros for it, for taking the tooth out, basically, and ended up with a tooth sepsis that was identical to MK Ultra for yet another 8 years. And you're going to talk to me about eating disorder, and you're going to talk to me about eating the stuff that is poisonous anyways. Man, when they throw you inside of the psychiatric hospital at age 40 practically, after 40 years of torture, and you have nothing left in your life than to commit a suicide, but you still continue to go on, and you have a beast like this that is empowered by the police, waiting at you every fucking day at home to give you a hard time hard time at whatever the fuck you do. Everything based on the police, which was barricaded. They lived inside in here, literally. And call you a mental patient all the fucking time. Wow. Then you had some issues going on. And this is the game that she plays. She's smiling. She wants to look. She is peaceful, that she is normal. But she is definitely not. Trust me that she is not. I was all beaten up today when I was heading to pick up the mom. From a lot of thoughts about the stuff that went on during MK Ultra, trying to obtain the memories on, you know how you average person of you thinks when something bad happens, all you're trying to do is trying to forget. You try to steer away from the problems. Every one of you, every one of us, when you have something unpleasant that happens, what you do is you change your mind. You try to go and you try to do something else. You basically, what you do is you transfer your mind into something else. So you get rid of this negative thoughts, is what they refer to them as in United States. Negative thoughts. You know, they even say, don't keep somebody who is negative around you. You know, about that kind of stuff. But my job, my kind of profession requires me actually to investigate attacks. There ain't no negative thoughts. These are organized attacks based on MK Ultra scenarios. This is a barrage. This is a million attacks. Like you would be a million times attacked. Now, if you don't make nothing out of these attacks, and attacks continue to go on and go on and go on, that's just too bad for you. That's your problem. Eventually, you're going to end up inside of the psychiatric hospital. Think of it like this. Think of it like this for you to understand the stuff that I do, to put it in a proper context. And so today when I had it for my mom, to pick up my mom, I found myself right here at home for elderly people. I go inside with the car. I turn inside. I did not notice anything strange about going to pick up the mom. And we'll make sure that I was really smart. You know, I wanted to make sure that what I would do is I would make sure that I would not interfere with the traffic as I would be making a phone call. And so this parking lot was all packed up. The parking lot was all jammed up with actually even cars parked right here. You know, even cars parked here. Everything was full. All the parking lots, everything was packed up, you know. So what I did was I stopped here in this area. This is a loading dock right there. And I was right here, parked like this on the side, with the front facing this way. So if the mother would not respond me, then eventually I would enter this area and go behind the building. As you know, they have a big parking lot right there in the back of it, right? So I parked right here. And I called my mother 3 times, as is evident from the phone calls. And I put the speaker loud also so they can be hear that stuff. The car runs, and me like a retard sitting inside of one. I started to feel extremely uncomfortable because I'm wasting a fuel like this. And she does not want to answer the telephone at this point, which is her frequent way of dealing with me whenever these people have something they want to throw on the picture. And it was indifferent this time. There was a van, which, right where you see here, there was a big fucking van parked right there, like this, in front of the home for elderly people. And as soon as I start driving inside and I come up to here like this van start to go backwards. And I'm saying to myself, what the fuck is going on with you, man? Why don't you just go forwards, you know, and make a turn around here? You know, why don't you just go and make the stuff that you're supposed to do? I mean, as a professional driver, they do have a loading dock area right here. And this is actually the place where you would be making your turn. This will be actually the area where you would be making your turn. As you see, there's a lot of improperly parked cars over here. They're not supposed to be parked over there. And where you can make a turn, basically. You know, this is basically, you see the garbage area right here? This is made for the garbage trucks even to come to pick up. This is the area where he should be going, and then basically going this way, you know, like basically making, like going U like this, you know, with this. It's a van. It was a van like this. It was extended van. Extended van. It might have been something like this. It might have been most likely, I have no idea, maybe Renault, or I did not even look at that stuff. Something like this it was, and it was extended, which is not a big deal, as you might figure out yourself. This is just a little van, you know what I mean? A regular little van like this. And he was making an impression during MK Ultra. I'm talking about this driver who looked like a Slavoj Žižek. Well, this is basically something like this. But he was not only was involved in MK Ultra, was a nice guy. This guy with the van. No, I'm not saying that he was a bad person. This guy was involved in MK Ultra, and he was not in particular violent. This guy, not at all. But not he, but his partners were the people whom he worked with. His co-worker, I guess, to get the job or whatever the case might have been. It was like a co-driver of this guy. He had a Celia license plate. They know here from this place, they know exactly who this guy is, and they will declare themselves who that was. And so he would not want to do this stuff. And so what I end up doing is, all of a sudden, when this guy start to back out, I hear the telephone going, you know, so I have the telephone, mother starts to call me all of a sudden. So this is basically like people would say the shit hits the fan stuff. And so what I do is, not likely, I am quite pissed off, but I'm thinking about that maybe I could go somewhere here in this area and move myself away. But I see that this idiot is contemplating on something what other drivers already I have observed them doing. And about basically going backwards like this with a car and then like this up front, you know, putting it backwards and then going this way, which is the way out. So since my mother tells me that she is at the Smrečnikova, then what I do is I go backwards toward the loading dock, I turn around, and what I do is I leave the home for elderly people. I rush to pick up the mother at Smrečnikova. Smrečnikova is the place where you would just make this. I told you, this is like a gang place. Place where they would, it somehow threw me here. This is the direction from home for elderly people. So that's where you would continue towards Smrečnikova. Down here, which is kind of crazy that I'm not going to drive you. We're not going to waste so much tape, and then I even have to burn this video and so on. So what we do is so she does not communicate with me. She has a telephone for decoration and to fuck around, basically. She does not communicate. She's not using telephone for what a telephone is, but she turned telephone literally into harassment game. So I come to pick her up at the Smrečnikova, which would be, let me just make sure. Here we go, here, across. And this is where the store is, Mercator store is right there. And that's where I would go to pick her up like this. That's where I would come. This is the store, Smrečnikova, right here that you see. And I pick her up and we continue toward home. As soon as this guy back up with his vehicle, however, I recall the words of psychiatrist, gosh, this is when you see this guy, you're definitely hospitalized, psychiatry, and so on. And so I continue taking him home. I make a turn here toward. So this is basically like based on MK Ultra scenario, one shot after another. They load you like crazy with this stuff. I see the Kia, a silver Kia. A silver Kia, that would be, it's an older model. We're talking about maybe 2005, something like that. Exactly the type of car, identical car to the nurse Andrea and her helper from psychiatric hospital. Is it exactly identical? I don't know, but I know that it was used during MK Ultra to intimidate, to harass. With literally Andrea Yericheva talking to this lady, directly talking to her about this issue, which makes it even a little bit more fucked up for her, for both of them. Makes things even a little bit more difficult. My mom, in meanwhile, started to scream at me and all kinds of stuff. What is she's gonna have to go through? The stuff that she has to go through is again a victim. Not like this, exactly like the one I don't even know. This is Kia. Kia Ceed must be like this. What the fuck am I getting all this stuff here done? More or less that car looked like this. More or less looked like this, but might have been an older model maybe. Like this, yeah, like this. This kind of car, like that, more or less. More or less, something like this. I'm not really sure if it's like this, but yeah, I took the license plate and everything, and that's basically what I did was I see her coming, therefore, from the city. She cannot do other than the left turn on this. Well, yeah, she can, but not when she's positioned right here that she's making a left turn. There was no way. Actually, yeah, there is a way. You know, there is left or right that she could make. And so this is where I ambush her by just simply going right here and making a U-turn right there, turning around, basically, coming right here to this area right here, and bingo. I had a black Golf going past me, and the next car was exactly her car. And she makes a beautiful, like this, rondo turn and proceeds with me right behind her, directly to her address right there. Bingo, like this here, and it paid off instantly. This is the lady whom Andrea Jeric, a psychiatric nurse from Ljubljana, Polje, was literally talking to her, begging her, that kind of stuff, businesses this year. So I consider this as a proven psychiatric police harassment, this stuff here. So this is like a very, very powerful proof when you consider all this. And then the rest of it you already know. Then I also went on to confront my mother about the salt and about the stuff like this. I did not talk to her about the heater, and I did not talk to her about the play with a wiper, with the wipers and stuff like this. Yet that also was part of MK Ultra game, exactly the way I explained. Most of the people, what they do, they run away from the problems, especially if it's such an overwhelming amount of attacks that is taking place. And like I have stated earlier, I did not even stated this to you. I did state it in the audio recorder. They told me that it is natural to run away from problems. It is. It is. But not after they throw you even into the psychiatric hospital and keep you lifetime unemployed practically. That's a problem of a little bit too bigger. Then we have to arrange this in a different way. Not when they torture you so much during MK Ultra that you border death. And you actually have to escape to another country so you don't collapse dead during MK Ultra due to amount and degree of torture. That's a little bit of a bigger problem, you have to admit, right? It happened to me twice like this. And even load you with a psychiatric medications and stuff like this. These people are simply mad, sick. Mother said right there, she was laughing at me that she is not sick. She's not mad. Actually, I didn't say that she's mad or she's sister, but she keeps telling me that I'm mentally ill. I told her, the mentally ill is you, it's not me. They also verified for this van with a man with a beard that would demonstrate me, take me around this place. You can see they even threw the cars over there so that it would look more convincing, like there is no place to turn around the vehicle here, This is not what you do. You don't start acrobatic exercise here with cars coming out of the parking lot, with cars coming to the parking lot. From outside of the home, from inside the home, you start to play acrobatic dance here with your van. This is definitely not the stuff that you do. It's done. This place was built for you to make a turn, for you to go and make a turn and go. It was built like this. This is a loading dock area here in the back that they come to pick up the trash. If it's big enough for the trash trucks, it also should be big enough for you, my friend, so that you also could do the stuff that you could do. Why these people parked here? Well, then you have to look at these parking spots right there also. You have to look at this kind of stuff. This is a very, very place that is not properly even built. There is no place for the people to park cars. But this is not my problem. This is a problem of the management which runs this thing like the way they run. So he would take me with the van here and actually even got my sympathy during MK Ultra. He would take me with the van and I was like, yeah, really, this is such a long van. Yeah, really, it's not a problem, man. Just go and just put your van. This is the way it was during MK Ultra. Don't worry about it. Nice guy. Yeah. Fuck yeah. No problem. Just go and rear your van to this area. Psychiatrist Peter Kops was overwhelmed by this philosophy that he learned from the professional driver. These are professional drivers because they have the license to operate vans and stuff like this. But I would not say to him as a professional driver, I do have a professional CDL driving license, a CDL for the biggest trucks. I would not go and proceed and teach idiots from the police station. This was their job. And explain them that you are actually even prohibited to do this stuff because of the statistics, of the truck statistics, that most of the professional drivers, most of the accidents that happened I think they told me, I don't know how many, 80% or 90% in the truck driving are related to backing up with the vehicle, with the big trucks, with the vans and so on. So this is the stuff I did not stress them out. So I am still a little bit more educated in respect to this stuff, despite them demonstrating me in the old school, the logic, the way they see it. It's just not even the way they see it. They check it out just like they check it out the way the mother prepares the food. And it just doesn't add up to it. Yeah, even if you prepare the fish, you're not supposed to squeeze one like a sponge. This is not the shit that you do when you prepare the fish, let's face it. You're just an idiot that you checked absolutely everything with the police and psychiatrists, and you're doing things extremely unusual so that you would get attention from me, so that your psychiatrists and police would have, I'm not going to say the way out, but so that they could misinterpret this as a mental illness. Like you're disturbed with everything, which is not precisely the truth. I'm the least disturbed person in the world. And they were trying to prove that the least disturbed is the most disturbed. Good luck with it. I told my mother, do not prepare that stuff for me. And I told my mother, do not prepare this garbage for me, because the way she prepares the fish is in such a way that in the midst of it, when you would open it up, in the middle of it, it would be raw. And my father complained all the time about the raw food that she was preparing, that in the middle was not cooked and so on. And that is the stuff that I simply dislike. I don't like that kind of stuff. That stuff was even frozen, that kind of stuff. And the best way to prepare this type of fish like this is basically you put it inside of the oven and you bake it inside of the oven so that it bakes itself and then you eat. Better than throw it on the oil, do this kind of stuff. It just doesn't work really. It's not exactly the best way to prepare the fish, is it? This is also not the best way. Basically, the way she did before was she took this paper and throw it like this, and then she would put the fish, before she fried one, in it, and then she would hang herself on the top of it so that she would squeeze all the water out and squeeze inside of the fish. It's called the cellulosa. This shit here, this is glue. This is, what the paper is made out of? I used to work inside of the paper industry. I saw it. Just a few months I did, year or something, I did work in there, and I saw how they make this stuff. And, they put chemicals, all kinds of stuff to, and hold this shit together and put it over and all kinds of stuff. This is not exactly the way you want your fish soaked in. You don't want really the chemicals to be soaked inside of the fish and squeeze like every meat. Inside of the fish also is water, which is a natural thing. These are juices that the best way probably would be even to cook the fish. However, this is what you would do for the fish to properly prepare one. It's a healthier way to put it inside of the oven or to cook it than to throw it like this on a bunch of oil like that and act smart. No, I wouldn't even say anything. She wouldn't give me an attitude, but she just kept calling me mentally ill, and she just continues to do the crazy stuff. The mother just warned me that if it's going to be like this, it's 50 euros per month to pay for the electricity. That's a winter house bill. Okay, you can see the month. It's a January. In the middle of the January. So this is for the December. Mami, nisem slišal.
Upam, da boš ti plačal račun.
Ok, hvala. Brez skrbi, da bom. Sem ga že. And so by using this thing here, it boosts the electricity bill. I am the one who created this bill because I'm using this thing here, which is practically since my return from Poland in 2000 and end of the 2000 and Bo? Bo? Okay, mami, hvala. For a piece of the fish, there will be 1 hour that the oven will, with the stove will be on. So far, since my return from Poland, at the end of the 2020, we are talking about 5 years, more than 5 years now. I did use a stove, just like the way you see it right here. I am using it right now. All together for 5 years, like this, the way you see it right there. Well, I will be generous and I will say about 30 times. 30 times would be the time when I was probably using the oven since the return from Poland in a way you see it now in 2020. So within 5 years, me using this thing 30 times. I don't think it's such a thing. I don't think it's such a ordeal that I did. This is truly a bill that is 50 euros, and the food was really shit. The food started to finally improve to be considered even as a food since sometimes in November. But it was such a misery, such a shit with no fish anywhere. She made a big fucking deal because it's a fish. That is unfucking precedented. Yes, I had a fish inside of the fridge, believe me. When it comes to the eating disorders and stuff, I think I did explain to you that the person that you do the stuff like this to, and I don't know what you are trying to prove other than everything you possibly could to give me a cancer, in testing cancer, that kind of stuff. I don't see this hype now about these things. I think I might actually survive the worst, really, because I already urinated and pieces of food, not only blood, but we try to make a deal out of the stuff that we're making the deal out of the stuff because I'm still alive. Most of the people would not even be alive. I'm proud about myself of still being alive, of gathering so much common sense that I would avoid what easily could have been the worst. The food was used as a major source of harassment, bullying, harassment, torture, intimidation, with my being called dung shit, thinking only about myself, eating too good, doing nothing type of shit. So that also pertains to the eating disorder. When you're told literally that you're not supposed to eat, when you called a dung shit, basically for preparing yourself what is considered as a healthy food. So you're fucking weird, guys. I am not a big fan of the raw fish, frozen raw fish eating. I'm not a big fan of that stuff. If you pay attention to these pieces of fish are very thin like this. You see this? You see how thin they are? They are thin. What we have going on here, which is basically the way you see it, is a chunky piece of fish that could actually not even be prepared in any other way. Look how big that shit is. How the hell are you going to prepare that fish if not like this? I mean, you know, you would have to slice the fish like that, which she would not do it. And like I said, she destroyed my system with the cooking shit like this. This is what the source of diarrhea is. She claimed for the father, she claimed that father somehow just always had a diarrhea. That he was just like this since he was a baby, that he always had a diarrhea. That's what she claimed for the father. And, well, she figured out the same thing for me. And by the way, this shit is not even baked. The way I see this stuff, the way that she prepared this stuff is not even baked. This is not even properly baked the way it should be baked. Not even this is baked the way it should be baked. It's raw meat right in the middle. So what I did was I placed her meat inside in there so that it could bake with the fish. And that would make sense, basically. She did not even bake the whole thing. I am quite speechless about this stuff. This supposedly would be for her. But what's interesting is she did not even eat this. Yes, yeah, you guessed it exactly. That's basically what the fish looks like when it's prepared. It's like this, nice yellow color, and you can also see the meat inside and in the middle. It's also yellow like that. That's when the fish is really prepared. I put her this inside of the oven so that she can have fish, so that she can eat fish, you know, the way the fish is supposed to be prepared. I want my mother to eat good. I don't want nothing bad to my mom. It is true that I a few times prepared with the French fries and stuff like that. 40 times, I'll get it 40 times for this stuff. Between 30 and 40 times I give you that kind of stuff. The one who could not stand me preparing the fish like this was none other than a little Božičnik. Božičnik was the one who protested to this stuff, was shaking during MKO that this is not good, this is not the right thing. And another one who assisted Božičnik, actually whom Božičnik assisted, was Milan Kučan. Milan Kučan and Božičnik had the biggest problem by placing this inside of the oven and preparing this as a food. Normally the way it's supposed to be. Now look how thick is this stuff here when compared to those pieces. And you're going to go and the only thing you can do is you can fry it on the surface, but you're never going to get inside and get one baked properly. It's the first time I'm preparing fish like this. That's another thing. The Božičnik was thrilled with the Zajšek in respect to the paper like this. This is what they wanted to see. I don't have the problem demonstrating you. This is what the fish looks like. This is completely fine with me to demonstrate you what this looks like. It looks completely legitimate. All through, I am completely aware that this is not the healthiest way to prepare the fish, but this is all I have. This is what my mother, this is the way it is. That's how she, this is what we have. That's all there is to it. And that's about as much as I can do. It's completely legitimate without any kind of anything that would cause problems. That you see it? I don't see anything that would be burned around here, anything like that. It's okay. I'm doing this with one hand like this so that I can demonstrate you, because that's what they want. They want to see that stuff. This is the stuff they pointed me during MKO that we're going to see this. Interesting, they were pointing me that stuff during MKO. That was a burnt paper. These police officers in parentheses are going to have stuff to explain. They have a lot of stuff to explain. I don't see nothing that would be wrong with this. Good. One big paper on half. And change. You see, this is where the fish was baked first time. And change it twice like this to keep it nice and clean so that it would not be affected by the paper in any way. I paid attention to that stuff. I'm not stupid. Look at these chunks of the meat. Look how thick this fish is. Look at it. And how you're gonna go and you're gonna fry fish like this when it's so thick? The only way would be to fillet it one more time, which you wouldn't do it. And this also has a rubber taste because it's parts of the fish that is just skin and that kind of stuff. And Zajcek and Stefanic and Božičnik, they were, I'm not going to say puzzled, but they're just a clusterfucks, demented people, you understand? Violent thugs, animals. They were just surprised, they acted surprised on why is it that I eat this type of like a rubber-alike more stuff when it comes to the fish that I eat one, but not when it comes to the meat. They couldn't understand the difference and they were like, look at me like stupid and rated me as mentally ill because of that, because I eat what they literally went inside of my mouth, is what I'm trying to say, when I ate the fucking food. When you eat the food during MK Ultra, they go inside of your mouth, basically. Because the goal is to drive you completely insane. And then have you portray yourself to the public as totally nuts, insane. Is violent thugs, animals, is what you say to this stuff. Animals. So yeah, I like about fish everything, but no, I would not eat the rubber, the veins and stuff from the meat. I would not want to eat. That's where Božičnik, nobody more than Andrej Stefanic, the funny man, and Juršić simply shined because they eat absolutely when it comes to the meat. They eat meat, everything. Meat is good. Why not eat the veins and stuff? It's good. It's very good. This is exactly, but he doesn't like that, and that's exactly what I like the best. And so, yes, if you like that the best, and then you are smart, then you are intelligent, and overall you're normal. Because you eat the veins, you eat the rubber stuff from the meat, then you are normal. This is the way they portrayed with the Janko, with the nurse Janko, how to view food is, not only to me, but directly in front of me to my parents. So you can hear the mama, I have to stop. Народно даєш?
Не даєш.
Ага.
Tako, da človek prstom ne vidne za nobeno delo, pa da lahko se pa prehrani. To pa ja.
Da se od hrane pogovarja, ker ne migne za prstom za nobeno delo.
Ja.
Imaš prav, mami.
Se vem, da imam.
Tako kot vse. Jaz še nisem vedel, da bi koga motilo, da človek je zdravo hrano.
Če si jo zasluži.
Če si jo pa ne, ga pa jebi, ne?
Tudi jaz nisem še videla nobenega takšnega.
Glede na to, da ste se z psihiatrom Kapšom ukvarjali za mojo prehrano, kako slaba je.
Ne, ni slaba.
Pa glede na komentarje, katere daješ,
Slaba pa res ni.
sem kar presenečen, mama.
In jaz. Zelo.
V glavnem ste futrali za smetmi.
Ker si zaslužiš to, ko imaš.
Aha, ja.
A je tako?
Absolutno, mama, če ti tako praviš, da je.
Kdor ne dela, naj ne je, je star pregovora.
Tako, tako. Kaj pa tist, ki mesa ne je? Kaj pa s tistim?
Tisto je njegova odločitev.
Tist ga treba pa zatolč, ne? Tist pa ni naš. Ni tako, da ni naš od partizanov, ni?
Zakaj bi pa tako bilo?
Ja, zato, ker mesa ne je, ne? Tako je bilo, ne, zakaj bi tako bilo, ampak tako je bilo. Čez ni naš, ki mesa ne je, ne.
Eni jejo meso, eni ribe.
Ja, eni jejo vse, drugim pa svaka dlaka smeta, ne. In tisti, ki svaka dlaka smeta, jih je treba zatolči, ne. Ni tako.
Jaz ne vem, če je.
Ne? Zakaj?
Zakaj bi ga pa treba za to zatolči?
Ja, zaradi tega, mama, ker ni, kako bi rekel človek, ni degeneriranc je. Zaradi tega, ker ne žre mesa, je nekaj narobe z njim. To ni partizan. Ta ni narejen na trdu, ni tako,
To je ustaš, ne?
Ne vem, mama, tu jaz ne vem. Je ustaš to?
Ne vem.
Ne, jaz ne vem, jaz tebe
Če
vprašam.
ni partizan, mora biti nekaj drugega pol, ne?
Je belogardist.
Najbrž.
Ne je mesa, je belogardist pol. Ok. To je treba obdelovati, ne?
Ja, to pa
Tako
res.
kot polje, ne? Da plevel ne preraste dobre rastline, ne?
Le vidiš, kako si pametan.
Tu sem se od Webra pa od tebe naučil.
Hvala Bogu, da si nekaj pobral.
Saj boš malo povedala, kaj je bilo vse, pa bo vse v redu. Malo boš razložila vašo logiko, partizansko pa bo bilo. Ti si partizanka, ne? Ti si po partizansko, nisi?
Če bi bila dovolj stara, bi bila, tako sem bila pa premehna.
No, ti si bila
Ti si bil
v
star-
komunistični partiji med
Ti si
vojno.
bil star 19 let, pa nisi šel v slovensko bran Slovenije.
S čim? S čim?
Tako kot vsi drugi.
Tako kot vsi drugi?
Ja.
A so šli noter v vojsko brez treninga?
Ja,
Takrat, ko se je vojna začela?
ja, marsikateri.
Marsikateri šel brez,
Ja.
da bi imel kakršenkoli trening
Tako
vojaški.
je.
A res?
Ja.
No, mama, vidiš,
Pa ni treba ti mene
malo pa
za
pomal se, če dalje bolj razumemo. Malo pa pomal te spominjam, kaj je bilo.
Ti me nič ne spominjaš.
Je.
Čist nič.
Je.
To se moraš zavedati, da res nič.
Dobro. Samo da je tako, kot ti praviš. Ne vidim. Jaz bi šel braniti Slovenijo, zakaj?
Ja.
Zakaj bi jaz šel braniti?
Tukaj so šli.
Mislim, jaz sem tudi jaz sem bil v prvi nabornik sem bil, prve redne vojske sem bil.
Isto se nič ne šli.
Ne, ker vojna do tukaj ni mogla priti.
Tisto-
Streljalo se je pa tam, ker sem bil jaz Bregana, se je slišal, da se je streljalo. Na hrvaški strani.
Kaj pa ti imaš Hrvat?
Tako. Tu imaš pa čist prav.
Obvezna
Tako.
služenje vojaškega roka.
A ja? Ja, tu pa res. Sej, danes je definitivno je ne bi šel braniti. Danes, če obstoja ali pa če ne obstoja. Raž bi vedel, da niti ne obstoja.
Veš,
Tako.
da bi bilo boljše.
Danes si tako povem. Ti nisi nihče, da boš komu govorila, še posebej eno takmo, ko sem jaz, ne, o življenju. Ti pa je policajn tam govoriti, kako si travo jedla med drugo svetovno vojno. Tu pa je povedati jim, kako ste travo žrli. Kako ste travo žrli, da ste živi ostali. Tu pa je govoriti tam, kako ste travo žrli.
To je res, Boštjan.
Pa odpadke od prašičev.
To je tudi res.
Je. Daj ti meni lepo svoj telefonček. lepo.
Ne dam.
Davaj.
Ne boš ga dobil.
Davaj.
Ne.
Si spizdela, ne? Si me vprašala, da to ni moja številka. Daj pokaž jo.
Ne bom.
Pokaži jo. Daj pokaž.
Ne bom.
Tu je moja številka, ni? Pa še posneto imam, pa še ena druga stvar je. Tu, kar si govorila zato, ker si govoril, da bo bila psihiatrija. In druge številke so bile, iz tega ste se norce delali z policaji.
Ja.
Zaradi psihiatričnih hospitalizacij, zaradi tega, ker imam predplačniški mami. In tako ste me forsirali, da sem tudi številke menil. Ja, kakšnega pa sreda. A ni bilo tako? Boš povedala vse to, kaj je bilo?
Ne, jaz ne vem.
In danes ni bila moja številka. Zakaj pa ni bila moja številka? Zakaj ni bila moja številka? Moja številka ni bila, mami, zakaj? Povej.
Ti že veš.
Kaj ste govorili, da bo?
Boštjanček, ti že
Danes si kar veliko zadev naredila takih, ne? Po receptu tiste psihiatrije, pa take znorjevanje, take stvari, ne?
Dej.
Ja, rada znoruješ, mami.
Ko boš šel v partizane, boš pa drugače govoril.
Ko bom jaz šel v partizane,
Ja.
kaj bom pa jaz v partizani delal?
Ja. Če drugega ne se boš skrival.
Brant bom šel tiste barabe, ki so
Sej so tudi skrivači.
skrivači.
Taki, ki se skrivajo. Ki ni.
Ne, mama.
Potem pa
Edino, kar bom jaz naredil, jaz se bom umaknil lepo.
kam?
Na varno.
Kje pa je?
Vi se boste šli po partizane. Jaz se partizanu ne bom šel. Vi ste tisti, ki ste po partizansko. Kaj se smeješ? Vi ste tisti, ki ste po partizansko nastrojeni in komaj čakate, da se nova priložnost odpre in boste lepo obračunali z svojim zunanjim sovražnikom, ne? Ni tako? Jaz proti partizanom se ne bi boril, ker se gre pa norcev, tu pa drugi poskrbijo za take stvari. Tu nisem jaz na svetu, da bom skrbel za neuravnovešene ljudi, ki se skrivajo za nekim partizanstvom pa delajo svinarije. Kaj misliš, če si bila med drugo svetovno vojno otrok, pa da je tvoja mama, ne vem, da si izgubila brata, pa da je tvoja mama te dala v komunistično partijo, pa partizani neko šizofrenijo, ki ste delali. Kaj misliš, da si kurac, da si s tem kaj dosegla? Dosegli ste več škode s tem, da ste pobijali ljudi po vojni in take stvari, nore ste počeli, pa kaj ste z mano delali? Vas ni sram to? Vas ni sram nič? Več škode kot dobrega ste naredili s svojim partizanstvom. Partizanstvo je bilo koristno med drugo svetovno vojno. Tu, ker ste pa po drugi svetovni vojni naredili, ste naredili pa stukaj več škode kot koristi med drugo svetovno vojno. Da vas ni sram. Da vas ni sram. Da vas ni sram.
Tako je.
Ja.
Tako je, sin moj.
Ti nisi noben vzor, nobenega partizanstva. Ti si tu,
In od partizanov.
veš, kako si ti vzor? Ti si tu vzor za partizane, kot Milan Kučan. On je tudi šel v drugi svetovni vojni, je bil tudi komandant Stane, Kučan, ni bil? On je tudi, kaj je bil? On je pičk in dim, kurac od breja ovce.
Da bi bil partizanik, on je bil otrok.
Ampak on je tisti šizofrenik, ki je te stvari z mano počel. On je hvalil partizanstvo, zato da je lahko svinarije počel.
A ja.
Ja, jaz sem pa tvoj sin, si pozabila.
Ja, da
Ja,
si pa sin
pa vi da imate
partizanov.
nekaj skupnega, nimate?
Si sin partizan.
Tako, točno tako.
In si lahko ponosen.
Na kaj? Na koga? No, povej, na koga sem lahko ponosen. Niste meni sramota naredili, ste samo sebi naredili. Niste? Ne? Ok. Mislim, da ste tako bili in ste tako neuravnovešen tim, tako neuravnovešeni, da tega svet še videl ni. Zaradi tega tudi, ker se gre narodno-osvobodilnega boja slovenskega, nimate vi nobene pravice nikomur govoriti o Hitlerju in o nacizmu in o takih stvareh. Stvari, katere ste meni naredili, presegajo zločine Hitlerja. Tako da vi niste nihče, da bi komurkoli govoril o partizanstvu, o čemurkoli, še posebej ne vi. Lepa pesmica, nekaj. Zajebali ste me tako, da me bolj niste mogli. In to ne za partizanstvo, ampak pod krinko partizanstva. Bolj, ko ste me zafukali, me niste mogli.
Misliš, da se nisi tam?
Ne. Tako ste poberali od tistega, ki najbolj sovraštvo, od Amerike pa od Nemčije, tako ste si naberali stvari. Zato ste se lahko v stojenke delali v vaši prelepi Jugoslaviji, potem pa v vaši prelepi Sloveniji. Knowing that I am going to the bank, the lady stops by and tells me, naj kar tako ostane, let it stay the way it is. And this again is pertaining to the psychiatric lunacy with this lady coming here during MK Ultra. She's from the village, a Red Cross, and she stops quite often here to tell me if I'm going to come here and say, naj kar tako ostane, let it stay that way, that means the psychiatry will continue. Oh, well. I think the worst part was when I told her, have a nice day. You know, just I came out and I see her talking to the mom. I was going to ask her to move the car. And she says to me, she says to the mother, naj kar tako ostane, let it stay that way, to remind of MK Ultra. And so you see, this is kind of a 360-degree throughout the day, this type of stuff that goes on. All the time they bombard with this kind of issues. With people that would come, I would not even go see them because it's this kind of shit they drag around. It must have been hard when I told her, have a nice day. The stuff that you see me recording right here, we are waiting for the red light to allow us to proceed right here in front of the gas station, is the stuff already that went on during MK Ultra. They were making sure stuff like this would be during MK Ultra, and I know because the police, they always went through here and next to those buildings, and they cut this type of stuff, the stuff that you see right here. You see this kind of stuff here? So they would not wait basically for the even for the red light to move to the green, but they would go along the buildings like this and they would cut through the jam. They did have this kind of jams already in the past, and then they would continue. They would merge the road at the end of those buildings and proceed. Here's the stuff that went on during MK Ultra already. Had a guy here behind me parked with his car and was slamming the brake basically. Oh, he's gonna go backwards. Look at that idiot. Look at this shit. He actually put into reverse, man. That's just fucking outstanding. You can't go any fucking reverse here. I don't even know if that was the car. No, that was not. It's right there. Have a license plate also. There you go. He was slamming the brake, like suggesting, like, you know, play with the lights, that kind of stuff. All right, all night. Why did they do this stuff? They do this stuff because they lost traction, because they lost the control, because they have no psychological control. And this is just one way to do it, is to basically do stuff like this ongoingly. So when they have no traction, no control over it, then it's stuff like this that's happening. Quite desperate, it sounds to me. Lunacy does not have the limits, and so this desk that you see right there found its way right here. I don't have to say anything about this stuff. You see it? You see this shit? This was involved in MK Ultra. Mother did exactly based on the police. Like it is now, try to go, you're a little bit bigger like myself. Try to go through the door without breaking the glass right there on the door. Like I said, the lunacy does not have limits. It's unlimited. Libre. That's it, man. She knows exactly what she's doing. Tako nastavljeno v hodniku, lepo imaš nastavljeno tisto za perilo sušiti, da se bo šipa razbila. Od vrat.
Normalnih ljudeh se ne bo.
A tisto je normalno zate, tam, ki si dal.
Tam se nič ne odpira.
Ne gre se ven čez glavna vrata, čez vhod se ne gre ven.
Tista stran, kjer je sušilo, se ne odpira, nima kaj udariti.
A tista stran, kjer je sušilo, se ne odpira, nima kam udariti.
Ne.
Pa ni bilo to, mama, med tabo pa med tistimi tvojimi policisti, tako...
Pa ultra, pa ne vem kaj.
Mami, daj pomir se.
Daj, ker si zmešan do konca.
Ok. Daj pa je tisto vsem zrihtat.
Tule, če češ.
Kaj si rekla?
To, kar si videl in slišal.
Kaj si mi pa pokazala?
To, kar si
No, daj mi pokaž, kaj si mi pokazala.
Si meni, da si videl, kukar si...
Ne, nisem videl.
Bi se posnel.
Jaz bi rad videl, ja. Jaz bi rad videl. No, daj mi pokaž.
Ker si zmešan do
Ja, no,
konca.
poslušaj, tam se res tizga, kako hočeš, da se vrata razbijajo, ali kaj?
Mene se tudi lahko.
Se lahko tudi razbijajo zaradi tebe. Ja, se zanj si rekla, da tudi če se hiša zapali, da ni nič hudega.
Vrata nobene ne bo.
Kako?
In tista vrata drug ne hodi poti.
Čez vhodna vrata od hiše. In to ni v redu.
Ja,
Tam je treba nastaviti
če
nekaj.
boš razbil, boš ti.
V redu, prav. Okay, fine. This is a brutal reality that I did prepared for her, the fish, and she did not. She did it. She did it good, good, good. The fish that she prepared was a halfway baked fish, and I made sure that I would bake her that inside of the oven when I was preparing for myself. And it was afterwards really, really tasty and crispy. So I am glad that she ate the fish. I am really, really glad about that. Because she really, really did. She doesn't even eat the right food. My mom doesn't eat the food that she should. She knows what's important is nutritious and stuff like this, but she's doing stupid stuff. I'm glad she ate that fish. That's a good thing. And voila, what else is here? Holy shit, man. Can you miss this stuff? I mean, if you walk inside of the kitchen and boom. Okay. What do you think this shit is here? Well, I have never seen one in my lifetime except during MK Ultra. And this is again when the psychiatrist Peter Kapsch gave his speech. It's called A Fever 3. It's a Mediterranean tonic water. This is what they were sipping during MK Ultra also. So she brings all kinds of crazy shit from MK Ultra that will make your brain spin. Yeah, I mean, you will not know what the fuck it is. It will hit you like from the sky when you see shit that you have never seen before in your lifetime. And the only time you have seen this shit was during MK Ultra. Especially because I never purchased anything inside of the stores. Any shit like this. I always almost purchase the same shit, basically. And never any kind of drinks like that. So psychiatrist Kapsch had all kinds of variations for this shit here, which involved anywhere from the psychiatry and even my expressing the interest for the for Asians, Africans, women, females. I don't like to say minorities. This is just fucking stupid, man. And it's deeply intrusive and offensive for me that we are dealing with this kind of issues at this stage is disturbing. That's all the fuck I have to say. This is, after all, this is my business with whom, what, and so on. It's enough. They have done enough damage to it. No, don't you think? They screw me up 54 years of life. I think it's time to stop it. No, it's time to calm down. I came earlier. Shit. It must have been like definitely 9 o'clock. And the fish was still inside of the fridge. And so I figured out that she might not even want to eat that stuff. Because I challenged her throughout the day. I said to her, Mommy, why? Because that shit was not even baked. That stuff was prepared halfway. It was not even baked properly. And, I proceeded to prepare myself that fish no matter what. She gave me the speech of a lifetime that is going to burn electricity and I don't know what. But I proceeded to prepare myself that fish. And so, but in meanwhile, what I did was I also popped that thing inside so it would be properly baked. And it was interesting because I already finished my fish, everything. And Mom comes back home. I wash the dishes and shit. And she is like looking, inspecting everything, whether I did eat that stuff or I did not, what's the situation. She was at the neighbor's. And she did this so that I would also eat her part. And I said to her, Mommy, you wanted me to eat, why don't you eat your stuff, And she wouldn't eat. And I asked her again, I said, I told her, you didn't eat because you wanted me to eat, right? And no, I ate 3 pieces of it and she didn't eat shit. At 9 o'clock, I still saw it inside of the fridge. There was still the fish. And so right now I thought I'm going to go and finish that fish. But I'm glad that she ate the fish because, like I said, she ate the plants and shit, but she doesn't eat the food that she should, like fish and that kind of stuff and meat, and barely any fucking meat. She was surviving on fucking plants, driving me completely crazy, basically. Finally, I have completely forgotten. Okay, so I have totally forgotten. I was doing some philosophy. I was talking to myself. It's a late hour. I was gonna go sleep. I checked all the doors. I lock all the doors because I don't want to leave Mom alone by herself. I open the fucking door and the door is now smashed, broken. We have a good damage here. Yes, this is going to the internet. I told Mom yesterday when I came upstairs, go and move the fucking thing away. This does not fit here. You don't put this shit here. She did not. Now I came downstairs. Boom. This is what you have inside of the house when you have stuff like this. Have a people like this. Actually, she gave me the attitude. You're gonna say you should be the one who should go and do that stuff. You're correct. I should be the one who should have gone and do that stuff, but I did not. And in the end, Mother even said, who the hell is walking through the main entrance? Only you, she said, only you. You're right about that. I should have gone and do this stuff, but if I'm going to go and do this stuff, and she's doing crazy stuff all the time, what is it going to be next time that is going to be waiting on me as I'm going to be walking somewhere inside of the house? She placed the thing deliberately so that I could cut my leg. You can see after 3 years what it looks like. After 3 years, this is what it looks like, basically. I'm going to show you how I cut myself a leg because she's doing stupid shit. Now I ended up, unfortunately, breaking this stuff here. So she has plenty of money. She has plenty of everything. And the biggest problem that we have inside of this house is because some people have too much fucking money, don't know what the fuck to do with it. Others, I don't even have for the fucking mouse shit. And there you have it, right there. Now we're without a door, basically. That might actually sound crazy, but just right now, as I came in front of the home, and they always do this, it's a regular procedure. As you go for a walk, and by the time you come back and you want to go home inside, there's always something. If it's not a neighbor, a burger here, who alone suggested, who will be driving me crazy with the lights, then in this case, and you can see what time it is right now. It's 4:25 in the morning. As I walked through the front gate, it was a police siren that went on the other side of the Krka River. So, as you are done walking, which you do to relax yourself, you get the sirens, you get the neighbors playing with the lights, or you get the cars flashing you with the long lights. This became established night procedure for the Slovenian police. So this is kind of fucking stupid, isn't it? And I really needed to go relax myself because of what mother just did it. She did something incredibly stupid. She placed the shit to dry the clothing right into this area here. This is where this became a place to dry the clothing, so that when you walk through, if you don't pay attention to it, you go and you break the fucking window. And this is not what I get, is a night police siren. So I don't know, but I think that there's a lot wrong with these people. Stupid shit also involved in MK Ultra. I remember the police even had some tapes across. But what is crazy about this shit is, just earlier in the day, I spoke to mother. I asked her to have this shit removed away from here because this is where this does not belongs to. And with an attitude, she told me, well, you're the only one who walks through the front door, nobody else, and that place right there is to be used to dry the clothing. So I went out, I completely forgot about it. I was messed up, I was doing some stuff, intensive stuff, brain intensive stuff, and I ended up breaking this shit without even realizing that this shit was here. So it's all audio recorded when it comes to the siren. Everything is audio recorded. It's right here. So not cool at all. Crazy. This is like this every fucking day. Every day is like this. This is the way it works. It's like this. What is it that pulls this police out? What pulls them out is that I don't have the computer that I could use to do this stuff. The computer that I have is awfully fucking slow. It's a junk. It's truly a junk. You cannot even go and burn video over like 50 minutes up to 1 hour. If you want to put on a little bit higher resolution, you cannot even do it. It's a total junk, and I'm completely aware this junk can give up on me at just about any time. This is old, used, worn out computer. It's got 8 gigabyte of RAM. This shit doesn't even have, I don't know, it's got 2-3 gigabytes of RAM. This is basically the way it performs. This is what it makes me feel it performs. I don't know shit about the computers, but this is not a computer that you would be using to burn movies. It's not that kind of stuff. So that's the kind of stuff that pulls them out. Otherwise, what you have seen have taken place is like on a day-to-day basis. It's a normal thing. Maybe some of you are going to say, why do you put this stuff on the internet? You're going to get mother in a trouble. Trust me, I did not put the mother on the internet on million occasions when she was involved in stuff, including completely insane stuff, totally insane stuff. Trust me, I did not put her on the internet. The thing is that my mom keeps repeating herself that everything that is destroyed inside of the house is destroyed by me. And she absolutely blames me for absolutely everything. I had absolutely nothing to do with it. This is why, next to this, sirens, all kinds of psychiatric threats, her calling me a mental patient and so on, I don't actually have no other alternative but to start placing the stuff that she was involved in, that she enforced, and in a very nasty way. So I don't have choice other to put this on the internet. I don't. I would use any opportunity to avoid this shit. She's nasty. She's plain nasty. And she's enjoying doing this stuff. And I'm not in a good health. And she's looking to get into the fights all the time with me. I'm in a very bad health. She is strong like a bull. And this is why I'm placing this stuff on the internet. For the people who suffer from the cancer, and I do believe I do have one, it's not good to argue. It's not good to fight. I suffer problems, including pain in the heart and so on, because of the intensity of the problems she's stressing me out with. This is why I'm placing this stuff on the internet, because I'm not going to give in to this violence. I'm not going to give in. I'm going to put this stuff on the internet. It's enough. Enough is enough of it. She should be more considerable, but she made an agreement with the police. She's going to be doing the stuff. All the stuff that you have seen, including the door that broke, everything was based, copy-paste stuff from MK Ultra based on the police scenarios. Absolutely everything. I'm not placing this on the internet to screw my mother up. My mother helps me with a lot of issues. She gives me the money here and there. But look, I have to make sure that somebody's not going to put whatever she does is going to fall on my shoulders. That's one of the things. Because I'm not the one who makes the trouble. And so she's very beneficial for me. She helps me out, but she's also stressing me like a mouse, and she's doing stuff that really she shouldn't. She acts like she is normal, like she's not looking for the arguments, and she's pulling all the time the stuff from MK Ultra and setting up and doing things, driving crazy basically. Like I said, she's very helpful and everything, and I wouldn't even be capable to do this stuff without her. But on the other hand, she's doing the stuff copy-paste based on MK Ultra, driving absolutely insane with the issues, stressing out like a mouse, man. When it comes to the windshield wipers and shit, this shit appeared all at once. It was not gradual. It was not that it would be time frame. The heater, what I stated for the basically the heater and this here, very, very bad stuff, this stuff here. Police was driving along these buildings. It was an order which Juršić was afraid of. Juršić, Janez Ogulin gave the order to all the criminals from Novo Mesto police station during MK Ultra to commute, because the road already was similarly to this was closed. They had a major obstruction, whenever they were doing this stuff, I don't know. But they gave the order to drive along these buildings because the road was closed. This stuff happened. And the two of them worried about, I hope it happened here in Novo Mesto. I hope they didn't have me somewhere else. I'm pretty sure it was here. they gave the order for which the two alone were worried that it's not okay to have the police officers cutting through here, driving along these buildings, and then coming out on the other side and stuff, because this is reserved for the local traffic. At least it should be. The second thing is the heater inside of the car and the windshield wiper, totally based copy paste on MK Ultra brainwash. It all happened at the same time. I don't know anybody else who could have done this stuff than my mom. But then on the other hand, a car was also parked outside. And I haven't been using the windshield wipers for quite some time. I don't use them, really do not use them. And so that stuff could have been done also externally by somebody. I think based on MK Ultra, what Janko talked to me during MK Ultra, they spoke to me about this stuff. That just needs to be adjusted. The easiest thing to do in the world. And when it comes to the heating problem, that just needs to be a varovalka, I don't know how you call that, a switch that needs to be changed for another switch. They were fucking with me if I know which switch would go where and that kind of stuff. Drunk shit. This idiot, these cretins from Novo Mesto police station posted in MK Ultra like some kind of teachers. And my mom today, you know what she stated to me? That I learned a lot from her, that I know all about how he works now. This is what she stated to me. It's actually audio recorded. So she is proud about something that she accomplished through this kind of stuff, the way they trained me, that I'm well trained now. This was the words of my mother to me. So if this is not fucking crazy, I don't know what the fuck crazy is, but for me, that's crazy. Yeah. My mom might not even be aware about what the fuck she's doing. All through, she's very well aware of it. It's better that she acts like she's not aware of it, but she's very well aware of it. That's all I gotta say. This stuff appeared to me almost simultaneously, but I have to say, the windshield wipers, I was not using them for some time. But both of these issues, every one of these issues, I never was driving the father's car in my lifetime. Till 2022, I would not even touch one, not single one of the cars from my father. And so both of these issues appeared at the same time. That's all I wanted to say.